Hi everyone, it's RB from FFTCG North America, and I'm here with Tim from FFTCG Europe.
Hello.
And we're gonna look at another developer match using decks that you guys submitted. So let's take a look at the decks. We have Wind Lightning Azul by Mogpod Gaming, and this looks sort of like it's trying to do the Earthwind Dottaluma thing, but it's just substituting Dottaluma with Azul.
He's like the new Dodaluma in town. Like he can deal 6,000 damage instead of 4,000 if you're on damage 5. But he's not doing that when he's being targeted by spells anymore. So you only want to do that yourself. All the damage.
So it's a little more fair this time. I think Azul isn't quite as oppressive, though when he does hit his high damage points, he's obviously better in terms of how much damage he can output. And the fact that you can sort of split up your damage, I think is really good, like really cool with him. And then I love Barbaricia as a card. I feel like I don't see her enough in decks, so I was excited about seeing her show up here.
I mean,
you've got your usual wins like Diablos and Yasmat and stuff, Y'shtola.
It just synergizes so well with like Orlando, Cactuar, like to put all the cards together, even Sakura that profit off low damage pings. Which you will need for Azul, and Barbaricia, of course, is on the same level. You're just hitting it with Cactuar and then killing it with Barbaricia.
Right, and then Citra's in here as the light character, and I think Citra's really great with wind, especially. And I mean it's primarily being used with wind cards here. I like how there's targets that are like both monsters and summons, so it's not just sticking to one or the other. Yeah.
I think the 2CP Ramo is also pretty interesting, which only deals damage to forwards that just entered the field. It's a card you don't see that often being played.
Right.
So
and then here's the Ice Earth Hellsgate. And this one I've seen in North America, like Ice Earth, especially with Sephiroth, has been something that's popped up a lot. It even won the Crystal Cup in Toronto last year. And you've got your one magic pot in there to do your Sephiroth shenanigans.
Yeah. I'm surprised to not see the Sephiroth that can search for a Dark Sephiroth as well. The ice one. But I think like probably you had enough Sephiroths already. How many do you have? 7?
Let's see. 1,
9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 9 Sephiroths.
That's quite a
this
lot.
deck, because this deck I think is heavily leaning on Flandet, where it wants to set up a situation where you're constantly removing your opponent's resources. So it's really just seeing about whether it can pull that off, where it can get that going. I do think that using the promo, the 4CP Sephiroth, the dark one, is a little risky because you won't be able to discard it for CP early on.
Yep.
If you wanna get rid of it. So it is like kind of dangerous. Also, there's no Octoslash Sephiroth in here.
That's true. We have 9 Sephiroths and no Octoslash 1. I mean, for the dark one at least, even if you have multiples, you can use it for the special to break your opponent's backups, which is what you want to do in that deck anyway.
Right.
But what I find really, really funny is now we're seeing 2 decks that want to set up boards of 1 CP monsters. On the one side we have Flandets, and on the other side we have Cactuars.
That's really interesting.
But I think...
And then I think Unsaganashi is in both of them, right?
I think so, yes. We had it in both. So
What a spook.
it will now show if this deck is able to like get rid of all the opponent's backups before the Wind Lightning deck can like set up. I think Wind Lightning is gonna have a really hard time.
Yeah, it's another situation where they're matched up against each other in a way where well, I guess in this way they are counter to each other. So Wind Lightning wants to abuse its resources like Wind typically does, and Ice Earth wants to take away the resources. So hopefully this is like it's gonna be a clash of which one gets to do what they want to do quicker, basically.
Right, so we're having Kageyama-san is playing with the Wind Lightning deck, and Arai-san is then playing the Ice Earth. And he's going first.
I really love Wind as an element, so I'm gonna root for Kageyama-san.
I really want to see the Ice Earth deck in action. Like, that's a pretty decent start here. He's even searching for like the Dark Sephiroth, the promo one, to like play him next turn to threat all the backups that Kageyama-san is playing.
It is interesting that I was saying you might not want that early, and he actually went out of his way to search for it early.
Yeah. I mean, one card that is doing really well in this deck, or in decks of that style, is Mandragora, which is just a really good answer to like cards like Star Sibyl and all these high cost backups, because you can just break them without the condition. And even if you can't break the high cost one after 3 Earth cards, you can break any backup for just 2 CP, which is really good.
As much as I love Pinello and she's doing nothing yet, I feel like that's going to be a dead Pinello. There's no way that a deck that wants to break backups is going to let her live.
Yeah, I mean, especially since Echo is now just an empty backup without effects, because they're both resolved already. Like, I'm a bit surprised to see Mandragora in the break zone. I would probably have discarded something else and play that as well to like put even more pressure on the backups.
Yeah, I agree.
But like Kageyama-san is like having the perfect answers for that. He started with 2 backups and now is playing 2 3CP ones. So like even if he's losing 1 or 2, he got a really good setup. And I think he still has a Nosh Talon in hand, right? Yeah. So even if now like 2 backups die, you can just do like Nosh Talon, search Valtril, and be back on 4 again.
Pinello has a target painted on her.
Yeah.
All those backups are blank except for her.
Yep. And there she goes.
Yep, there she goes.
But like, you're paying...
I was like dreading it.
But you're paying like 4 CP, like 2 CP and the special, to break a backup instead of attacking. While
yeah,
like, the Wind Lightning
that is kind of weird.
Just setting up more backups. He's now going to 5 anyway, I guess. Or is he going like Ilua attack?
To be fair, he had to discard a card to play the Nosh Talon.
Yeah.
So breaking Pinello actually did do a little bit to hit Kageyama-san's resources.
It's true, yeah. He was not playing both new backups.
Oh no, there's an Azul gone.
Yeah, and that's the second one already. Kageyama-san discarded one last turn, or the turn before, together with Babuisha there.
So he's doing a good job of getting ahead on resources, but he's losing the centerpiece of the deck right off the bat.
So now we're having Flandid Vane. So he's trying to like put more tax on the opponent's forwards and like prevent Kageyama-san from playing more. So let's see, he has Voltrill, he has Unzaganashi, Cactuar and Ishtola. It's all good cards. And he's just keeping the Cactuar, I think. Yeah. Oh, and he's drawing Diablos.
Oh. See a Vane.
So he's just paying for Vane and then keeping
That makes
the
sense.
Diablos in hand for next turn, I guess.
If Raisan goes in with Sephiroth, Kageyama-san could potentially take out 2 forwards.
Yeah, that's true. Block with Ilua and then break both. Oh, I think it's gonna happening. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't use the Flandet beforehand. He could have prevented that.
I would have just triggered the Ilua shield. So...
Oh, you're right.
It would just pop the Ilua bubble and then he could still block. But Flandet is still a good way to pop the Ilua shield, so maybe that's gonna be useful later on. Also, Kageyama-san is now empty-handed. But on 5 backups you don't care too much about that when your opponent is only having 2 or now 3.
Yeah, they're in pretty similar situations for their hands, but Kageyama-san's gonna be able to pretty much play anything that he pulls off the top of his deck. Except maybe like Yasmat.
Yeah, he could not play Yasmat, but everything else is fine. So, Arai-san searched for a realm. So he wants to set up more monsters now. And
I think Kageyama-san just swings in for the next point and then passes.
I mean, what does he have in hand? There's actually the Yasmat.
Yasmat, yeah. In Orlando.
So can Arai-san play the realm is the question. Because he only has Ice and Earth CP. Or does he have another realm in hand and that's why he was searching it? Yes.
Yep, two realms.
2 realms, so you can search now 2 monsters. And he now can like use one Flandid always to pop the Ilua bubble and then the other one to actually use the effect or to use the Mushusu to break Ilua even if she attacks. Or even now, but I don't think he wants to.
He can play Yasmat now.
Oh boy, yeah.
So he can start pulling apart Arai-san's board.
Oh, he can play the Yasmat before he can use the Mushuzu to break it all forward. Cause Ilua is still active. Yeah. So can't use the effect. And he let the effect from Flandid resolve. So he was like pinging the shield with 1 using the effect. And since Kageyama-san does not want to discard his last hand, card in hand, he did not attack with Ilua. And now Arai-san needs an answer for that Yasmat. Otherwise, he will lose 1 Flandid next turn and another one the turn after.
Yeah, everything on Arai-san's board can be targeted by Yasmat.
Oh yeah, Ram 2, it's also 5 CP. Yeah, that's not the card you want your opponent to have right now. So
he can search for anything, huh?
Any forward.
1 forward.
So what does Earth have to get rid of Yesmud right away? I don't think there is something... I mean, Umaro is great, but he can't play it this turn.
He may just have to take
Yeah.
a couple damage and then
And lose one.
and
of
lose
the
a forward.
planets.
And then get rid of Yasmat next turn.
Yep. I mean, he's using a Flandit now, right? So...
Yeah. Oh, he's thinking about whether he wants the CP or not.
Yeah, he's paying it and then going to attack. Yeah, Arai-san was there forgetting that he could have used his other Flandit as well when he was targeted. To get rid of one
you're right.
more, get rid of one more backup from Kageyama-san.
So now we're probably going to see Yasmat go to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way he's putting his last Flandit in danger. But first, let's attack with Realm. Oh, and he can now use his other Flandit to pop the Illua shield and then freeze it with Umaro at the end of the turn. No, he's not doing it. He could have frozen the Illua. Oh, it's really another Yesmud. there are only 2 in the deck. There are only 2 Yesmuds in the deck and he's just drawing it.
I can't believe that.
Goodbye, Umaru.
So now our Ison's in the same exact situation.
Yep. 2 Flandits on the field and the realm. And does he has a new answer? Come on, Umaru. That would be such a good answer.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a new Maru. We'll just do that forever.
The Yesmud Umaru loop. Until you run out of copies, which is probably now.
Yeah.
No, 4 CP, that's something else, less. So he's freezing a backup. So Voltrail, I guess. Yeah. And now, oh, he's making the Flandit use now. No, is he? No, he's still not using it. Just pop the Illua shade with it.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate that he's not getting the most out of those before they go.
I mean, it's something that you like forget so easily.
Right.
The same as with when your opponent is playing Sid Garland. No, Garland 9, the 3 CP ice one that lets your opponent dial forward at the beginning of the main phase. And when you have a monster, you can just dial the monster because it's character, but many players are forgetting it and just dialing like forwards or backups instead.
Mm-hmm. He has a second Illua in hand, so that Illua is pretty safe.
Yeah. So he was just blocking with Realm. Maybe he's hoping to draw another Realm, like the last one. And get the other Mushuzu, or another Mushuzu from his deck with it. Because that could break Yesmud right out the bat.
That'd be a lot of CP. But I mean, I guess it's necessary.
I mean, if he would draw that Mushuzu, it would be great. Just 4 CP break Yesmud. But I mean, I'm seeing a 7 CP Sephiroth, which is something you don't really want to play now, so... Star Sibyl... Shantoto?
Yeah, I think he's gonna go for Shantoto.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have a backup space to play it. So it's not really gonna help him.
I mean, he can break the Star Sibyl
Next turn, yeah.
next turn, and then pay another...
If he gets the next turn, but I think it might be over.
I mean, he can block now. He's only going to 6 damage, so just take the damage now and block Ilua, I guess.
Kageyama-san has a Lua special.
Yeah, but he had Tyro, so he could have went to 10k with Celeste, and then the Ilua special is only putting it to... Okay, they're just trading that way. So Celeste went to 10k with Tyro, and Kageyama-san traded and then swung with Ilua to keep Ilua in hand, to make it like really, really safe and be able to give everything haste next turn. But Penelo is back. You can't use her still, but she's back.
Oh, that's nice.
There we go. That's the one I was talking about.
I guess it makes sense that he didn't want... Kageyama-san didn't want Arai-san's Shantoto to be valuable. So trading actually makes sense there. And then the next turn he would just have a Lua to put back in play anyway.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see him close it out here. I saw Barbarisia in his hand. I'm seeing Citra now. So he pretty much has game in his hand.
Yeah. I mean, he can just do Barbarisia Ilua special, and then he still has 2 forwards with haste. He can do Citra get back Cactuar to Cactuar special. He can do Citra get back Cactuar, play Cactuar, and probably has enough CP to play Barbarisia as well. There are so many options right away with all these cards.
He is setting up the overkill.
Yeah, he's just making it super safe. I mean, there's still Tyro, so now Tyro will buff to 3k, and then Ilua special is finishing it off. Why is he not using the special yet? Oh.
Oh, wow.
He was predicting the back attack Sephiroth there. That's
what a big brain play.
I would have like immediately when your opponent used the Tyro, I would have like slapped my Lua special and say like, yeah, Garland's dead.
Oh my god. I didn't even think about that. That's why he's the producer, I guess.
So now Garland is dead. Sephiroth is going down by 2k as well. So even though he's using the special now, he's only going to 7. Right?
Correct.
Yeah, he's only going to 7, but he has first strike. So that means Kageyama-san can't attack more. He's losing the Ilua. And Arai-san is actually still in the game. But if he would have used the Ilua special right away, then I think the outcome would have been the same, right? Because Sephiroth would have just blocked and would be on 9k. So what is he doing now? What can you do in that situation? Getting back another Garland and playing it to just have some forwards on the field. Yeah, that's not looking good for Arisan.
Oh, he's drawn another Citra, so he can just Cactuar, take out one of them,
Yeah.
and then Citra the other.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. And he's also going to 3 damage then to get his Penelo life. He's like, you know what? There's Sephiroth. He can watch you go to 7 damage this turn. He's not allowed to block anymore. Yeah, so now Cactuar is killing it.
Yeah, he was playing that just really safe, really smart. He knew that he had control of the game, and he just wasn't taking too many risks.
No, he was playing it like perfectly safe, evaluating every situation, thinking about what could my opponent do there and how can I react to that.
And this deck, you know, it never got to do the Azul Cactuar combo, but it still showed that it's pretty oppressive without that.
Yeah, you were not needing it at all. Like, you always had like answers to what your opponent was doing. You can remove the forwards. You were playing such a good control game.
I also love that Barbarecia actually did work. Like Barbarecia and Citra, at the end there, Citra, a lot of people think about the summon or the monster recursion, but she has a second ability. Yeah. And the fact that we saw that played there to just neutralize Sephiroth, I loved that. What a great way to close that game out.
And like, it was also such a coincidence there, because he only had 2 copies of Citra, so drawing that Citra was just perfectly timed.
Yeah, it just came right at the right time.
But I mean, this deck also had so many ways to like search the cards you need, that you're kind of sorting out your deck for all your cards anyway. So that's pretty consistent.
Yeah, so much deck thinning. Like, he got Echo right off the bat. He did
the vulture
what was it? Right. Oh, you know what? Was he using... Did he use Sid of Clan Gully in this match? But then I don't see it on the list.
I think so.
Huh. Okay. Maybe there's something slightly different about this list. But anyway.
I mean...
Yeah.
It's there.
The list is slightly wrong.
I mean, he probably modified the list a bit, I guess. What?
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're missing it on this page. Anyway.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. We will give you a little note about the set of Clan Gully there and what was going on. Maybe we even do a little edit, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just trying to point out it had a lot of ways to search and thin out. The Echo right off the bat, Wall Trill, Louis Swa. There's all these cards that make it so that in the late game you're just getting more gas, which is exactly what happened.
I mean, I was enjoying that match. I think this was the most interesting one so far.
Absolutely.
It had some really great back and forth moments, answers, and like turnarounds that you were not expecting, especially with that like back attack Sephiroth coming in. So that was pretty nice. Yeah,
I think both decks, even though the the Sephiroth deck didn't get to do quite what it wanted with choking out the resources. I still think it was a pretty good back and forth between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That was a great match. So what were you guys thinking about that? Did you enjoy the match? What was your favorite match so far? Let us know.
Yeah, and are you going to build on any of these decks and play them on your own?
I hope so. And
I mean, I'm probably going to play the Wind Lightning one.
I'm more intrigued by the Earth Ice one and try to make it a bit more like consistent. Probably play like 3 Mandragoras and less of the Dark Sephiroths to just go on that route. Something like that. So I hope you were enjoying this type of video series, and we hope to see you the next time.